host, Isaac the Firehawk Middleton. And if you're celebrating a birthday today, this month, or this week, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, and many more birthdays, okay? And if you're celebrating an anniversary, oh yeah, 1 month anniversary, 20 years anniversary, 50 years anniversary, oh yeah, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to you, and of course, many more anniversaries. All right, yeah. Okay, first off, I want to talk about my fitness evolution. For those of y'all who follow the JB&I Show, y'all know I talk about fitness and motivation constantly. I talk about my own fitness evolution so that I can motivate you in yours, whatever your fitness goals may be, right? So in that endeavor, I decided last year I was going to do 3 5Ks per year, right? This is the second year getting into it, and I am doing so good so far. You know, I struggle quite a bit, during holiday season. That's just being honest with you guys. Gotta have my ice cream and cake and Thanksgiving dinner, you know what I'm saying? But that's no excuse, right? Because after the Thanksgiving dinner is over, after all of that is done, it's time to get back on the grindstone, and it's time to get back at work, right? And that's what I've been endeavoring to do. Sometimes it is harder to do, harder said than done, as that's how. But I have done really well in achieving my fitness goals and maintaining my fitness goals. Those have been milestones for me because I've failed so much. I think I've gotten used to failing, right? And fortunately for me, I've had fans like you, supporters like you in my corner and encouraging me continuously to not quit and to keep going. And because of your encouragement and those that are around me encouragement, and just the atmosphere of going out there and running a 5K, and how much support I receive out there, or we all receive with each other, supporting each other, even though our fitness goals in itself are different, it's just a great atmosphere altogether. And I have nothing but good things to say about that because of the great atmosphere of the other fitness professionals. Some are way better than I am, you know what I'm saying? Way better than I am in fitness, physique wise. I'm running a 5K, they're running a marathon or a half marathon. You understand what I'm saying? What they do is, despite their obvious advantage in fitness that they have over me, they still encourage me, and people like me. They still encourage me, and they still say, hey, you can do it. Keep going. Don't give up. Keep pushing forward. I know it's hard today, but it's going to be easy tomorrow. All of that. And that's what did help me, believe it or not. And those words of encouragement did help me immensely. Okay. And I'm thankful to have those fitness professionals in my corner, and just this whole the entirety of the fitness community, and the positive energy in this fitness community that I'm experiencing is just wonderful. It's just great. I love it. And because of that, I have been able to improve and to get better. And I have to thank my family, my friends, supporters like you, and the fitness community. So thank you so much. And coming up next, I'm going to be talking more about fitness. I'm going to add a little story in regards of your fitness evolution. I'm going to say a little story about myself and my fitness goals and aspirations from last year, 2024. And I got a couple of movie reviews that I think you will enjoy. Let me know your comments below. Do you like this new format? Welcome to Season 6 of the JB&I Show. Oh my God, this is wonderful. You are wonderful. And yeah, I just thrilled to be here another season. Can you believe this is 6th season, y'all? 6th season for the JB&I Show. Oh yeah. Even with all my stuttering and stampering and stuff. Yeah, I'm still here and hanging in there with me. Thank you so much. You guys rock. All right.
The journey to getting fit is often portrayed as a race, a competition where the finish line is defined by comparison with others. But what if we shifted that perspective? What if we viewed fitness not as a contest, but as a deeply personal endeavor? A project that requires patience, dedication, and a commitment to gradual improvement. Just like fine-tuning a project car, getting fit is about making incremental changes, celebrating small victories, and understanding that every individual's journey is unique. Imagine standing in front of a project car, its paint chipped, and its engine sputtering. You know it has potential, but it requires time and attention. You start with the basics, perhaps changing the oil or replacing a worn-out tire. Each small improvement leads to a better performing vehicle, and with each tweak, your excitement grows. Similarly, when it comes to fitness, the goal is not to transform overnight, but to focus on gradual enhancements. Each workout, each healthy meal, and each moment of self-care adds up, contributing to a stronger, healthier version of yourself. This journey requires a plan, much like the meticulous approach one would take with a car restoration. You wouldn't overhaul everything at once. Instead, you'd prioritize. In fitness, this means targeting different muscle groups each day, allowing each part of your body the attention it needs. Muscles can be likened to needy friends, each craving affection and care. Just as you wouldn't ignore a friend's call for support, you shouldn't neglect your biceps one day and your legs the next. Each muscle group deserves its moment in the spotlight, and by giving each the attention it requires, you ensure a balanced and well-rounded fitness journey. But what about cardio? For many, the thought of running on a treadmill or pedaling a stationary bike feels more like punishment than a path to fitness. Fortunately, there are alternatives that can elevate your heart rate without the drudgery of traditional cardio. Consider playing with kids at the park, where laughter and movement come naturally. Every game of tag or spirited chase can get your heart pumping while creating joyful memories. Dancing is another fantastic option, whether you're twirling at a social gathering or simply grooving alone in your living room. The rhythm of the music can make you forget you're even exercising, transforming your living space into a dance studio. Engaging in sports can also be a thrilling way to get your heart rate up. Whether it's joining a local soccer team, playing basketball with friends, or trying your hand at tennis, these activities provide not only a workout, but also a sense of camaraderie. The competitive spirit can be invigorating, but remember, the goal is not to outshine others, but to enjoy the movement and the company. Each game is an opportunity to improve your skills while keeping your body active. While cardio is essential for heart health, strength training is equally important. Many people associate strength training with heavy weights and bulging muscles, but it's much more than that. It's about building a foundation that supports your body in everyday activities. Think of it as reinforcing the structure of your project car. You wouldn't want to drive a vehicle with a shaky frame, just as you don't want to rely on a body that lacks strength. Incorporating strength training into your routine doesn't require hours in the gym. It can be as simple as bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or even lifting household items. Flexibility and stretching are critical components of any fitness journey. It's easy to overlook these aspects in the pursuit of strength, but flexibility is what allows you to move freely and avoid injuries. Even the strongest individuals need to maintain mobility. Imagine a car with a powerful engine but rigid suspension. It may go fast, but it won't handle well on the road. Stretching should be a daily practice, a way to honor your body and prepare it for the challenges ahead. Incorporating yoga or simple stretching routines can enhance your overall well-being, ensuring that your body remains agile and responsive. As you explore your fitness journey, remember that there is a vast array of options available. Fitness is not a one-size-fits-all model. It's a personal experience that can include climbing, boxing, martial arts, or team sports. Each activity offers its unique set of benefits and challenges, allowing you to discover what resonates with you. The key is to experiment and find what you enjoy. When fitness feels like a chore, it's easy to lose motivation. But when it's something you look forward to, it becomes a fulfilling part of your life. Of course, no discussion about fitness is complete without addressing diet. It's crucial to understand that no amount of exercise can compensate for poor nutrition. Imagine pouring high-octane fuel into your project car, only to find that the engine is clogged with debris. Nourishing your body with wholesome foods is essential for performance and recovery. Focus on a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. It's not about depriving yourself, but about making informed choices that support your goals. Treat your body like the finely tuned machine it is, and it will reward you with energy and vitality. Embracing your fitness journey means acknowledging that everyone starts somewhere. It's easy to feel intimidated by the sleek bodies and seasoned athletes at the gym, but remember that each of them was once a beginner too. The courage it takes to step into a gym for the first time is commendable. Just by reading this, you are already on the path to taking that important first step. You are gathering knowledge, building a foundation for your journey, and that's something to be proud of. Improvement over time is what matters most. It's not about comparing your progress to others, but about celebrating your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Each workout completed, each healthy meal prepared, and each moment of self-care is a step forward. Fitness is a marathon, not a sprint, and the most significant changes often happen gradually. As you embark on this journey, remind yourself that it's okay to have setbacks. Life can be unpredictable, and there will be days when motivation wanes or when you face obstacles. What's important is how you respond to those challenges. Instead of viewing them as failures, see them as opportunities for growth. Each stumble can teach you something valuable about yourself and your commitment to your goals. So, as you stand at the beginning of your fitness journey, take a moment to reflect on what it means to you. What are your goals? What activities bring you joy? How do you want to feel in your body? By defining your purpose, you create a roadmap that guides you through the inevitable ups and downs. Allow yourself the grace to be a work in progress. Just like that project car, your body is a canvas for improvement. It may not be perfect today, but with time, effort, and dedication, it can become something extraordinary. Embrace the process, and remember that every step forward is a victory. Take action today, no matter how small. Whether it's a short walk, a few minutes of stretching, or a healthy meal choice, every effort counts. The journey may be long, but it's also rewarding. Celebrate your progress, no matter how insignificant it may seem, and keep moving forward. You have the power to transform your life, one step at a time. So, gear up and get ready to hit the road. Your fitness journey awaits, and it's going to be an adventure worth taking. This short story is about Isaac Middleton's fitness journey. Isaac Middleton stood at the edge of a bustling park, the sun spilling golden light across the green expanse. The air was electric with anticipation, laughter, and the rhythmic sound of sneakers hitting the pavement. It was here, amidst the vibrant energy of the Firehawk community, that Isaac felt a spark igniting within him. He had always been drawn to fitness, but this was different. This was a collective pulse, a shared journey toward health and wellness that resonated deep within his soul. As he connected with fellow members of the fitness and the Firehawk community, Isaac's excitement grew. They were a diverse group, each person bringing their own story, their own struggles and triumphs. Some were seasoned athletes, while others were just beginning their fitness journeys, much like Isaac. They exchanged encouragement, tips, and laughter, creating an atmosphere that felt like home. It wasn't just about running, it was about forging connections, building friendships, and supporting one another through the highs and lows of life. Reflecting on his journey, Isaac likened it to a rocky mountain trail, filled with steep climbs, unexpected turns, and moments of sheer exhilaration. There were days when he felt on top of the world, as if he could conquer any challenge that lay ahead. But there were also days when the weight of self-doubt pressed heavily on his chest, making each step feel like a monumental task. He remembered the early mornings when he'd lace up his shoes, the chill of the dawn air biting at his skin, and the temptation to stay in bed, to give in to the comfort of the familiar. But then he would think of his friends, his family, and the fans who cheered him on from the sidelines. They were his unwavering support system, the ones who believed in him even when he struggled to believe in himself. Their encouragement was like a lifeline, pulling him out of the depths of uncertainty and reminding him of the strength he possessed. Each cheer, each message of support, became a stepping stone on his path, guiding him through the challenges he faced. In January 2024, Isaac made a pivotal decision. He wanted to take on a personal challenge that would not only test his physical limits, but also serve as a testament to his growth. He committed to completing 3 5K races that year. It was an ambitious goal, but he felt ready to embrace it. The first race loomed ahead, and with each passing day, he trained with determination, pushing through the fatigue, the soreness, and the occasional twinge of doubt. As the day of the race approached, excitement mingled with anxiety. Isaac could feel the butterflies in his stomach, a familiar sensation that reminded him of the importance of this moment. He arrived at the race, surrounded by a sea of runners, each person with their own story, their own reasons for being there. The atmosphere was electric, filled with the sounds of laughter, encouragement, and the rhythmic thumping of feet on the ground. When the starting gun fired, Isaac took off, his heart racing in sync with the pounding of his feet. The course twisted and turned through the park, each step a reminder of the journey he had undertaken. He felt powerful, alive, and connected to something greater than himself. As he crossed the finish line, a wave of exhilaration washed over him. He had done it. He had completed his first 5K. And in that moment, he realized that this was just the beginning. With 2 more races on the horizon, Isaac felt invigorated. The challenges he had faced along the way had only strengthened his resolve. He had learned that setbacks were not failures, but opportunities for growth. Every stumble, every moment of self-doubt, had taught him valuable lessons about perseverance and the importance of focusing on his own path. Isaac understood that fitness was not a one-size-fits-all journey. It was personal, unique to each individual. He encouraged others to embrace their own journeys, to set their own goals, and to remember that progress comes from both careful planning and unwavering dedication. Whether someone was just starting out or confronting their own fears, the key was to keep moving forward, one step at a time. As he continued to train and prepare for his upcoming races, Isaac found solace in the camaraderie of the Firehawk community. They celebrated each other's victories, no matter how small, and lifted one another up during moments of struggle. The bonds he formed with his fellow runners became a source of inspiration, a reminder that they were all in this together. In the weeks leading up to his next race, Isaac reflected on how far he had come. He thought about the mornings he had dragged himself out of bed, the times he had pushed past the fatigue, and the countless hours spent training. Each moment had shaped him, molded him into a stronger version of himself. He realized that fitness was not just about physical strength. It was about mental resilience, about finding the courage to face challenges head-on and to keep moving forward, even when the path was rocky. As race day approached, the excitement in the Firehawk community was palpable. There were group runs, shared meals, and countless moments of encouragement exchanged. Isaac felt a sense of belonging, a connection that transcended the individual struggles they each faced. They were a family, united by a shared passion for fitness and a commitment to supporting one another. On the day of the second race, Isaac felt a surge of energy as he lined up at the starting line. The familiar butterflies danced in his stomach, but this time they were accompanied by a sense of confidence. He had trained hard, and he was ready to embrace the challenge ahead. As the starting gun fired, he took off, feeling the rhythm of his breath and the pounding of his heart in sync with the beat of the race. With each mile, he pushed himself, fueled by the cheers of the crowd and the support of his fellow runners. He remembered the struggles he had faced, the self-doubt that had once threatened to hold him back. But now, he felt liberated, empowered by the knowledge that he was capable of achieving his goals. As he crossed the finish line, a wave of triumph washed over him. He had completed his second 5K, and with it, he had proven to himself that he was stronger than he had ever believed. With one more race to go, Isaac felt a renewed sense of purpose. He reflected on the journey he had taken, the lessons he had learned, and the support he had received from his friends, family, the fitness and the Firehawk community. They had been his anchors, guiding him through the storms of self-doubt and uncertainty. As he prepared for the final race of the year, Isaac knew that this journey was about more than just crossing finish lines. It was about the connections he had forged, the growth he had experienced, and the realization that he was not alone in his struggles. Each person in the fitness and the Firehawk community was on their own path, facing their own challenges, but together they created a tapestry of support and encouragement. On race day, the atmosphere was electric. The energy of the crowd was contagious, and Isaac felt a sense of excitement bubbling within him. He lined up at the starting line, surrounded by friends and fellow runners, all ready to embrace the challenge ahead. As the race began, he felt a sense of freedom, a reminder of the joy that came from movement and connection. As he ran, he thought about the journey that had brought him to this moment. He remembered the rocky trails, the setbacks, and the moments of self-doubt. But he also remembered the laughter, the encouragement, and the unwavering support of his community. Each step was a celebration of his progress, a testament to the hard work and dedication he had poured into this journey. Crossing the finish line for the third time, Isaac felt a rush of emotion. He had achieved his goal, but more importantly, he had discovered the power of perseverance and the importance of community. He realized that fitness was not just about the races or the medals. It was about the connections he had made and the strength he had found within himself. In the weeks that followed, Isaac reflected on his journey. He knew that there would be more challenges ahead, more rocky trails to navigate. But he also knew that he had the tools to face them head-on. He had learned to embrace the ups and downs, to celebrate the victories, and to lean on his support system during the tough times. Isaac's message was clear. Whether someone was beginning their fitness journey or confronting personal fears, perseverance was key. He urged others to focus on their own paths, to set their own goals, and to remember that progress comes from both careful planning and unwavering dedication. As he stood at the edge of the park, watching the sun dip below the horizon, Isaac felt a sense of gratitude wash over him. He was thankful for the fitness and the Firehawk community, for the friendships he had formed, and for the journey that had shaped him. He knew that he was not alone in his pursuit of fitness. They were all in this together, united by a shared passion for growth and resilience. With a heart full of hope and determination, Isaac took a deep breath and stepped forward, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. He was not just a runner. He was a part of something greater, a community that inspired him to keep moving forward, one step at a time. And that, he realized, was the true essence of his journey.
This is a short story that doesn't follow the movie. Enjoy. Sam Wilson stood in front of the towering glass structure of the White House, the weight of the world on his shoulders. The sun cast long shadows across the lawn, and as he approached the entrance, he felt the familiar flutter of nerves in his stomach. He had faced down aliens, robots, and even gods, but nothing compared to the gravity of this moment. Today, he was meeting with President Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, a man whose legacy loomed large in the annals of American history, but whose reputation was marred by controversy and skepticism. The door swung open, and Sam was ushered into the Oval Office, where the air was thick with unspoken tension. Ross, with his steely gaze and military bearing, sat behind the resolute desk, flanked by aides who seemed to hold their breath. Sam took a seat across from the president, the iconic vibranium shield resting against his leg, a constant reminder of the legacy he was stepping into. "Sam," Ross began, his voice gravelly, "I appreciate you coming on such short notice. We're in a precarious situation." Sam nodded, his mind racing. He had spent months grappling with the decision to take up the mantle of Captain America, a role once filled by Steve Rogers, a man who not only had the super soldier serum coursing through his veins, but also the heart of a true hero. Sam was just a man, a veteran, a falconer, and he had no illusions about the challenges that lay ahead. "Sir," Sam replied, "I know what people are saying. I know they're skeptical. But I'm ready to do this. I want to protect this country, to honor what Steve stood for." Ross leaned forward, his expression serious. "This isn't just about you filling Steve's shoes. There's a global conspiracy unfolding, one that threatens not just America but the entire world. We have reports of a resurgence of old foes, Red Hulk, the leader, and they're working together. We need someone we can trust, someone who can navigate this chaos." The mention of Red Hulk sent a chill down Sam's spine. He had heard whispers about the gamma-powered behemoth, a creature of rage and destruction, and the leader, a genius with a mind as sharp as his intellect was twisted. The thought of facing them without the serum was daunting. "I can handle it," Sam insisted, his determination rising. "I've faced my share of threats before. I have the skills, the experience." Ross studied him for a moment, then nodded, seemingly satisfied with Sam's resolve. "Good. I'm going to need you to dig deep. This isn't just a fight, it's a chess game. We'll be moving pieces across the board, and you'll be at the center of it." As Sam left the White House, he felt a mixture of fear and exhilaration. The vibranium shield felt heavier than ever, but it also felt like a part of him, a symbol of hope and resilience. He knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, not just from external threats, but from within. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of activity. Sam trained harder than he ever had, pushing his limits, honing his combat skills, and learning to wield the shield with precision. He reached out to Isaiah Bradley, the former super soldier who had once faced the harsh realities of a world that didn't want him. Isaiah's wisdom and experience were invaluable, and their conversations often turned into late-night strategy sessions where they discussed not just tactics, but the weight of legacy and the burden of being a hero. "Sam, you're not Steve," Isaiah said one night, his voice low but firm. "You don't have to be. You have your own path to carve out. Just remember that being Captain America isn't about the serum, it's about the heart behind the shield." Sam took those words to heart. He knew he couldn't replicate Steve's legacy, but he could create his own. He could embody the principles of justice, equality, and courage that Captain America represented. But the world was not waiting for him to find his footing. Reports of strange activities began to surface: mysterious disappearances, covert operations, and shadowy figures moving in the dark. Sam and his allies quickly realized that they were dealing with a sophisticated network of villains, and the stakes were higher than they had anticipated. The first confrontation came sooner than expected. Sam found himself in a remote facility in the Arctic, where intelligence suggested that the leader was conducting experiments to enhance his army. As he and a small team of Shy LD agents infiltrated the base, the air was thick with tension. They moved in silence, but the stillness was shattered by an explosion that rocked the facility. "Get down!" Sam shouted, throwing himself to the ground as debris rained down. In the chaos, he caught a glimpse of a hulking figure, Red Hulk, charging through the wreckage, his eyes blazing with fury. Sam's heart raced. He had trained for this, but facing a creature like Red Hulk was a different beast altogether. He called upon his training, using the shield to deflect a barrage of gunfire while coordinating with his team to regroup. "Sam, we need to fall back," one of the agents yelled, but Sam shook his head. "No, we can't let him escape. We have to stop this now." With a surge of adrenaline, Sam charged forward, using the shield to create a distraction. He darted in and out, relying on his agility and combat skills. The clash between him and Red Hulk was brutal. Sam felt the force of the punches, the impact reverberating through his body, but he refused to back down. In that moment, he realized that the shield was not just a weapon, it was a symbol of his resolve. He fought not just for himself, but for everyone who believed in what Captain America stood for. The battle raged on, and Sam managed to outmaneuver Red Hulk, using the environment to his advantage. He led the creature into a trap, where the combined efforts of his team finally subdued him. As Red Hulk was taken into custody, Sam stood there, breathing heavily, the weight of the shield grounding him in reality. But the victory was short-lived. The leader had been watching from the shadows, and his plans were far from thwarted. As Sam returned to the base, the enormity of the situation began to sink in. The conspiracy was deeper than he had imagined, and the enemies he faced were more formidable than mere muscle. In the following days, Sam found himself in the thick of the investigation. He worked closely with Betty Ross, who had returned to the fold, her expertise invaluable. Together, they pieced together clues that led them down a dark path, revealing a network of corruption that stretched to the highest levels of government. "Sam," Betty said one evening as they pored over files, "this isn't just about the leader and Red Hulk. There are people involved who want to see you fail. They want to undermine everything you represent." Sam nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He was not just fighting for his own reputation. He was fighting for the ideals of justice and integrity. He had to prove that he was worthy of the shield, that he could be a Captain America who inspired hope rather than fear. As the investigation progressed, Sam faced mounting challenges. Public perception was mixed. Some hailed him as a hero, while others questioned his legitimacy. Social media was ablaze with debates and discussions, and platforms like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes reflected the divided opinions on the latest installment of the saga. Fans were torn between nostalgia for Steve Rogers and the desire to embrace a new era with Sam at the helm. Critics pointed out the film's pacing issues, its reliance on action sequences over character development, and the complexity of the plot that sometimes felt overwhelming. Yet amidst the criticisms, there were moments of brilliance. Sam's interactions with Isaiah, his camaraderie with Betty, and the moral dilemmas that challenged his beliefs. The narrative was rich with themes of legacy, identity, and the struggle for acceptance. Sam's journey resonated with those who felt marginalized, who understood the weight of stepping into a role that carried the burden of history. As the conspiracy unraveled, it became clear that the threat was not just physical, but ideological. Sam found himself in a battle for the very soul of what it meant to be Captain America. He had to confront not only his enemies but also the doubts that gnawed at him. In the climactic showdown, Sam faced the leader who had orchestrated the entire scheme, manipulating events from behind the scenes. The confrontation was fierce, with Sam relying on his instincts and the support of his allies. He fought not just for survival, but for the future he envisioned, a world where everyone, regardless of their background, could look to Captain America as a symbol of hope. In the end, it was Sam's unwavering belief in himself and his mission that turned the tide. He outsmarted the leader, using his knowledge of strategy and his connection to the people around him. As he stood victorious, the vibranium shield gleaming in the light, he felt a surge of pride. He had proven himself not just as a warrior, but as a leader. The aftermath of the battle brought a sense of closure, but it also opened new doors. Sam had forged his own path, one that honored the legacy of Steve Rogers while carving out a new identity for himself. He had faced skepticism, overcome challenges, and emerged stronger, ready to take on whatever the world threw at him next. As he looked out over the horizon, shield in hand, Sam Wilson understood that the journey was far from over. The world was changing. In this new chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, audiences found themselves engaged in a narrative that, while imperfect, offered glimpses of brilliance. Check out Captain America: Brave New World. It's not the best, but I'm sure that you will enjoy it.
In the bustling landscape of superhero narratives, few stories resonate quite like that of Daredevil. The character, born from the pages of Marvel Comics, has long captivated audiences with his unique blend of grit, moral complexity, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Yet, for many fans, the saga of Matt Murdock seemed to reach a premature conclusion when Netflix announced the cancellation of Daredevil after its third season. The news hit hard. It felt like the end of an era. Viewers had invested in the dark, nuanced world of Hell's Kitchen, and the thought of saying goodbye to Charlie Cox's masterful portrayal of the blind lawyer-turned-vigilante was disheartening. Little did they know, this was not the end, but rather a prelude to a thrilling revival that would reignite their passion for the character. When Daredevil Born Again premiered on Disney Plus on March 4th, it was as if a collective gasp echoed through the fan community. The series not only marked the return of a beloved character, but also brought back a familiar ensemble cast that had become synonymous with the gritty storytelling of the original show. Charlie Cox reprised his role as Matt Murdock, embodying the character with the same depth and intensity that fans had come to adore. Alongside him, Vincent D'Onofrio returned as the formidable Wilson Fisk, a character whose complexity and menace made him one of the most compelling villains in the Marvel Universe. The chemistry among the cast was palpable, with Deborah Ann Woll as Karen Page and Eldon Henson as Foggy Nelson, adding layers of emotional resonance to the narrative. The anticipation surrounding Born Again was palpable, and as the episodes rolled out, it became clear that the series was not just a nostalgic trip down memory lane, it was a bold new chapter in the Daredevil saga. The ratings spoke volumes about its reception, with an impressive 8.7 on IMDb and an 87% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics and audiences alike praised the show's ability to blend intense action with profound character development, striking a balance that had made the original series a standout. The storytelling was rich, layered, and above all, engaging, drawing viewers into the morally ambiguous world that Matt Murdock navigated daily. As the narrative unfolded, fans were treated to thrilling surprises, including the much-anticipated return of John Bernthal's Punisher and Wilson Bethel's Bullseye. Their appearances added a palpable tension to the storyline, reminding audiences of the stakes involved in the battle for justice in Hell's Kitchen. The writers skillfully wove these characters into the fabric of the new series, creating a tapestry of conflict and camaraderie that felt fresh yet familiar. Each episode was a masterclass in character-driven storytelling, exploring themes of redemption, vengeance, and the gray areas that exist between right and wrong. The first season culminated with its 9th episode on April 15th, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting the next installment. The confirmation of a second season set for 2026 sent waves of excitement through the fan base, igniting discussions about what the future might hold for Matt Murdock and his allies. Speculation ran rampant, with many hoping for the revival of other characters from the Netflix Marvel Universe, such as Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. The prospect of a shared universe, rich with interconnected stories and characters, felt tantalizingly close, hinting at a broader narrative tapestry that could unfold in the years to come. For those who had yet to dive into Daredevil Born Again, the series offered a compelling invitation. It was more than just another superhero tale. It was a testament to the power of storytelling and the importance of second chances. The revival of Daredevil stood as a beacon of hope for fans of all kinds, a reminder that beloved characters could rise from the ashes, stronger and more nuanced than before. With its impressive ratings and the return of a familiar ensemble cast, Born Again was not just a revival. It was a celebration of the enduring spirit of storytelling that resonates with audiences across generations. As viewers settled in to watch, they found themselves enveloped in a world that felt both new and nostalgic. The themes of resilience and redemption were woven into the very fabric of the narrative, inviting audiences to reflect on their own journeys. The character of Matt Murdock, with his unwavering commitment to justice despite the personal cost, served as an inspiring figure, embodying the struggles and triumphs that define the human experience. Each episode was a testament to the complexities of life, showcasing the battles fought not just in the streets of Hell's Kitchen, but within the hearts and minds of its inhabitants. The return of Daredevil was more than a mere revival. It was a celebration of the character's legacy and the impact he had on fans around the world. The excitement surrounding Born Again was palpable, and as viewers tuned in, they found themselves not just watching a show, but participating in a cultural moment that underscored the resilience of storytelling. The series stood as a reminder that sometimes the most powerful narratives are those that are given a second chance, allowing characters to evolve and grow in ways that resonate deeply with audiences. In the grand tapestry of the Marvel Universe, Daredevil Born Again emerged as a shining example of what can happen when beloved characters are given the opportunity to thrive once more. The impressive ratings and the enthusiastic reception from both critics and fans underscored the importance of this revival, paving the way for future stories that could further explore the rich landscape of Marvel's New York. With each episode, viewers were reminded of the power of hope and the belief that stories, no matter how seemingly finished, can always find a way to rise again. As the first season of Born Again came to a close, the discussions among fans only intensified. What would the future hold for Matt Murdock and his allies? Would we see the return of other beloved characters from the Netflix era? The anticipation for Season 2, set for 2026, became a rallying point for fans eager to see how the narrative would continue to unfold. The potential for crossovers and interconnected storylines created a buzz that echoed through online forums and social media, drawing in both old fans and newcomers alike. In a world where superhero stories often tread familiar ground, Daredevil Born Again managed to carve out its own identity. It was a series that embraced its roots while simultaneously pushing boundaries, offering a fresh perspective on the beloved character. The familiar faces of the ensemble cast brought a sense of continuity, while the new narrative arcs invited exploration of uncharted territory. Each episode was a reminder that the world of Daredevil was not just a backdrop for action, but a living, breathing entity filled with rich stories waiting to be told. For those who had yet to experience the thrill of Daredevil Born Again, the series beckoned with promises of excitement, depth, and emotional resonance. It was an invitation to witness the evolution of a character who had faced insurmountable odds and emerged stronger, a narrative that underscored the importance of resilience in the face of adversity. The show was not merely about superpowers and high-stakes battles. It was a profound exploration of the human condition, a reflection of the struggles and triumphs that define us all. As fans settled in for the journey, they found themselves not just spectators, but participants in a larger narrative tapestry. The return of Daredevil was a celebration of storytelling's enduring power, a reminder that characters can rise again, embodying the hopes and dreams of those who believe in the magic of second chances. With the promise of more to come, the future of Daredevil and the Marvel Universe felt brighter than ever, inviting audiences to engage, reflect, and celebrate the stories that continue to shape our understanding of heroism and humanity. Daredevil Born Again is worth watching.
Coming this summer of 2025, the world is ready for a new chapter in the saga of Superman, a character who had long been synonymous with hope and heroism. The anticipation is palpable as the film, directed by James Gunn, prepared to unveil a fresh perspective on the iconic Man of Steel. This isn't just another superhero movie. Here is my take on it. I don't know how it is really going to go, of course. From the very first frame, the film enveloped the audience in a sweeping panorama of Kansas's rolling fields and golden sunsets, beautifully captured by cinematographer Henry Braham. The visuals were breathtaking, each shot meticulously crafted to evoke a sense of nostalgia and warmth, reflecting the very essence of Clark Kent's dual existence. The camera lingered on the quiet charm of Smallville, where the air was filled with the scent of freshly mown grass and the distant sound of children playing. It was a place that felt both timeless and comforting, yet it stood in stark contrast to the weight of Clark's alien legacy. David Corenswet stepped into the role of Clark Kent with an earnestness that resonated deeply. His portrayal was not just of a superhero, but of a man caught between two worlds. The film opened with Clark returning to Smallville after a lengthy absence, a self-imposed exile that stemmed from his struggle to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. As he walked through the familiar streets, memories flooded back. His first flight, the laughter of friends, the unconditional love of his adoptive parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent. Yet, with each step, there was an undercurrent of isolation. A reminder that, despite the adoration he received as Superman, the man behind the cape often felt like an outsider. The narrative deftly weaved between Clark's heroic escapades and his personal journey. Lois Lane, portrayed by the talented Rachel Brosnahan, was a pivotal character in this exploration. Their relationship was more than just a romantic subplot. It was a partnership built on mutual respect and understanding. Lois represented the grounding force in Clark's life, someone who saw beyond the cape and the powers. She challenged him to confront the complexities of his identity, urging him to embrace both sides of himself rather than view them as conflicting. Their conversations were filled with a mix of playful banter and deep philosophical musings, creating a rich tapestry of connection that resonated with audiences. As the story unfolded, the film introduced Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, a character reimagined through Gunn's lens. Luthor was not merely a villain. He was a mirror reflecting Clark's struggles. A brilliant businessman with a tragic past, Luthor's motivations were rooted in a desire to protect humanity from what he perceived as the threat of Superman's power. His obsession with control and fear of the unknown mirrored Clark's own battles with acceptance and belonging. The interactions between Clark and Luthor were charged with tension, each encounter a philosophical debate on the nature of power, responsibility, and what it truly means to be human. The film's score, composed by John Murphy, elevated the emotional stakes in every scene. The music was a character in its own right, underscoring Clark's internal struggles and the grandeur of his heroic moments. From the soaring strings during moments of triumph to the haunting melodies that accompanied his moments of doubt, the score resonated deeply with the audience, enhancing their emotional connection to the story. It was a reminder that even the mightiest heroes grapple with their place in the world, and that vulnerability is not a weakness but a facet of true strength. As the summer heat enveloped Smallville, the film delved into the heart of Clark's journey. He faced challenges that tested not only his physical strength, but also his emotional resilience. A series of crises unfolded, from natural disasters threatening his hometown to Luthor's machinations aimed at discrediting Superman in the eyes of the public. Each challenge forced Clark to confront his fears and insecurities, pushing him to seek answers about his identity and purpose. The stakes were high, not just for the world, but for Clark's own sense of self. In one poignant scene, Clark stood on the edge of a cliff overlooking the vast Kansas landscape, the wind tousling his hair. It was here that he grappled with the weight of his choices. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow that seemed to wrap around him like a comforting embrace. He reflected on the duality of his existence, the alien who could save the world, and the man who longed for a place to call home. The visuals captured the moment beautifully, with Bram's cinematography painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, symbolizing the hope that lay on the horizon. Through it all, the film emphasized the importance of community and connection. Smallville was not just a backdrop, it was a character in its own right, filled with people who loved and supported Clark despite his differences. The townsfolk, portrayed with warmth and authenticity, represented the heart of his journey. They reminded him that heroism wasn't solely about grand gestures, but also about the small, everyday acts of kindness and compassion. Whether it was helping a neighbor with a flat tire or comforting a child after a storm, these moments grounded Clark and reinforced his understanding of what it meant to belong. As the climax approached, the film reached a fever pitch. Luthor's plans escalated, and the stakes for both Clark and Smallville grew dire. The action sequences were expertly choreographed, blending breathtaking visuals with emotional depth. The audience was on the edge of their seats, not just for the spectacle of Superman soaring through the sky, but for the emotional resonance of each blow exchanged. Clark's battles were not just against physical threats, but against the very doubts that plagued him. The moment he embraced his identity as both a Kryptonian and a human, the film transcended the typical superhero genre, offering a profound commentary on the nature of heroism and acceptance. In a climactic showdown, Clark confronted Luthor in a battle that was as much about ideology as it was about physical strength. The dialogue crackled with tension as they debated the nature of power and the responsibilities that come with it. Luthor's fear of Superman's potential for destruction clashed with Clark's belief in hope and redemption. It was a battle of wills, and as the dust settled, it became clear that the true victory lay not in defeating an enemy, but in embracing one's true self. The resolution of the film was both powerful and poignant. Clark returned to Smallville, where the townsfolk welcomed him with open arms, celebrating not just the hero, but the man behind the cape. The final scenes captured the essence of belonging. As Clark stood amongst his friends and family, a smile on his face that radiated warmth and acceptance. He had found his place in the world, not by denying his alien heritage, but by embracing it as part of his identity. As the credits rolled, the audience was left with a profound sense of hope. The film had transcended the typical superhero narrative, offering a rich exploration of identity, belonging, and the complexities of being human. It was a reminder that even the mightiest heroes grapple with their place in the world, and that true strength lies in vulnerability and connection.
In the summer of 2025, Superman's revival was not just about saving the world, it was about finding a home within it. Through James Gunn's visionary storytelling, the film resonated with audiences, reminding them that heroism is not just about extraordinary powers, but about the extraordinary choices we make in our everyday lives. As the sun set on Smallville, it illuminated the path for a new generation of heroes, inspiring them to embrace their identities and find their places in a world that often feels divided. The legacy of Superman was alive and well, a beacon of hope shining brightly in the hearts of those who dared to dream. I hope that you like my take on the new Superman. As you can tell, I am excited, and I can't wait to see the new Superman movie. Superman comes out this July on the 11th of this year. Don't be confused by my past tense writing about the Superman movie. What do you think about the new Superman movie? Are you excited as well? Do you think it is going to be as good or better than Henry Cavill's Superman?
MyFitWatch.net. You will see me say it so many times. It's my online store. You can find Team Firehawk supplements there. I use it. Multivitamin. You can find all the merch there. You know what I'm saying? Got to get the merch. And you can also find all kind of items and stuff there that just will support the stream, the company, the whole nine, the movement, everything. So it's just a pleasure and an honor to be able to present to you myfootwatch.net. Okay, so thank you so much for your support. All right.